platinum air bowl. I have 4 crystal tone singing bowls. This bowl is 99.9% clear quartz. Perfect in time for Aries. So this is my air bowl. I have a fire, a water, and earth bowl as well. The reason I have this bowl out is because we are preparing for the full moon in Libra and opening up the gateway of the eclipse season. So I am bringing out all of the arsenal. So that includes sound, smoke, water, air, you name it, I'm bringing it out. And I'll show you what I'm up to. How are you doing, everybody? Welcome to eclipse season. Welcome to Aries season. Happy astrological new year. We have a lot ahead energetically. You know, January and February, comparatively, we're pretty darn quiet. So what am I doing? Always sage, always Palo Santo. And oftentimes people ask me about Palo Santo. So using Palo Santo, you've got to get it pretty red hot, like flaming. So Palo Santo means sacred wood. Sacred wood, they just strip the bark off of a tree, and this is the result. So talk about natural, and it smells so good. So Palo Santo helps to cleanse the energy. Again, we're switching seasons, we're changing seasons. So at the beginning of every season, I do what I call my mother load. So here's to you, cleansing your energy. I start with Palo Santo to clear the environment, and then I light sage. And truly, this amount of sage is just enough for an entire space, an entire room. We don't want to overuse sage, but I follow with sage. Do the Palo Santo or reverse. You can do the sage, and then you can end on the sweet note of Palo Santo. So changing seasons, going into the astrological new year, I do a deep cleanse. So my bowl, my singing bowl, and then I use scent. The next thing I do, I focus on, especially we're going into this full moon in Libra, is incense. Now incense are another cleansing method. They can be used to cleanse as well. I use incense just about every day to trigger a time when I'm about to meditate, especially in front of my altar. And I love this brand. So I'm just using Palo Santo today, just a simple Palo Santo incense. So I've already used the wood, and I'm going to back it up with this Palo Santo incense as well. Following that, I'm definitely going to light a candle. So I already have a candle lit, but I will light my full moon candle. I'm going to light this full moon candle. And candles are cool because candles alert the universe that you are present, that you are around. So in all the clutter and all the noise, when you light candles, especially at night, during a lunation, during a full moon or a new moon, it is said that the universe can find you. So I'm going to light this candle. What's cool about candles is they contain the 4 elements: water, fire, earth, and air. So crystals inside of this give the earth element, but because the candle starts out as a solid form that represents earth, when I light it, that smoke is going to represent the air. And then of course the wicker and the candle coming together is going to represent fire. And so we got the 4 elements contained in the candle. So I'll light that. And my favorite way or thing to do is to use scent. To use scent. I'm using this amazing. It's mint, sage, and lavender spray. Oh my God, it smells so delicious. So I'm going to use this. I'll probably use it in the following order. This is Energy Cleanse Spray. And then I will follow it up with this delicious moon. This is Moonstone Infused Spray. I'll follow it with the Moonstone Infused Spray. And then to seal it before I start my practice, and of course there's going to be a crystal, I'm going to work with clear quartz. I'm going to work with my clear quartz cluster. And you've seen me be a goon and see me be a nerd and put it on top of my head. but I swear it helps. If you're a meditator, put a piece of clear quartz on the top of your head. It literally connects with your crown chakra. So clear quartz is about amplifying the energy. It's also about raising your vibrational frequency. So like it's called clear quartz, it brings clarity to your life and the situation. So this is a great time to begin a new season of change, new energy coming in, especially eclipse. And then I am going to close out, when I do my ritual, I'll use oracle cards because oracle decks also bring information. And then I'll close out with a protection spray. This spray actually has sage and Palo Santo, and it seems like an overkill, but in different forms, it brings about a different freshness. Hey, Cynthia, welcome. And happy birthday to our wonderful Santi. Oh my God, he's such an amazing soul. And I give you and your husband credit, just being fierce, loving parents, no nonsense. Oh gosh, and you just have allowed his gifts to come through. You've supported him and everything. So congratulations, Mama. You should really be proud. Okay, so sound. My singing bowl, you can use a chime or anything like that. My sage and Palo Santo. I'm going to use a small amount of sage. I'm going to use my Palo Santo. I'm going to follow it up with an energy cleanse spray, protection spray, moon spray, and of course, I am going to light a candle. So welcome in. We're going to talk about this full moon lunation. And I just wanted to remind you that we have a few spots left in our Reiki certification. And this will be virtual as well. So if you can't make it live, this is happening on March 30th. And if you can't make it live, we will offer it virtually. It's being offered virtually. So you'll get certified in level 1 and level 2 at one price. And the levels are separated so that there's a 3-week period in between the two so that you can do your own self-healing. But I got into acupressure again to help heal myself and my family. And then I've expanded it to helping others. So when you're done with this course, you'll be able to do self-healing. And what I love, you'll be able to use it on pets. You can also do distance healing. So right now I have a friend that's fighting, a terrible disease. But if my Reiki hands are on, I'm going to send, as soon as my Reiki hands come on, I'm going to join the course as well. I will send her love and healing. That's what I love about Reiki. You can do it and you can send love and energy out into the world. So I will be doing that around the world, around the globe, with all these crazy things that are happening. Also, which I don't talk about very much, is I do something called cosmic sessions. I'm not an astrologer, but I love astrology because it's the study of how things affect us here on Earth, how the planets affect us. So it's a simple reading. It helps you to discover the 3 key aspects: your sun, your moon, your rising. And I also include the North Node, because the North Node is all about your purpose and your destiny. I have 60 minutes and I have 30 minutes. And then I love doing numerology readings. So I teach you about your significant numbers that affect your life. And I teach you how to learn to use numerology to empower yourselves. That's a 90-minute session because we go into Kabbalah numerology and classic numerology. Wonderful. All right, enough advertising. Let's get into this. So instead of doing trivia, I wanted to just review. I found an article about astrology. This is from Very Well Mind, and this is Jennifer Freed, PhD. Astrology is a study of how positions of the stars and planets are believed to affect human lives. The question was, why do people believe in astrology? It says the first organized astrological system appeared in the Old Babylon period more than 2,000 years ago. Yoga, by the way, is 5,000 years old. A belief in astrology in some ways is a coping mechanism. Research suggests that it helps people make sense of things during times when life feels complex. Astrology becomes a tool that can be turned to for comfort. I love it. She goes on to say that history shows that people have been more interested in astrology during tumultuous times, with interest rising during the Great Depression in the 1930s, as well as in Germany between the two world wars. And more recently, astrology boomed in the wake of the coronavirus pandemic. Why does astrology peak during tough times? Because so many of the traditional institutions have failed to provide a meaning map for people, says Jennifer Freed, PhD. Also, astrology, unlike those institutions, has been a place of welcoming for all people. So astrology has never discriminated against anybody. It only seeks to help you understand yourself better. Astrology may also appeal to those with an intolerance for ambiguity. Similar to how it is used as a coping mechanism, it can provide a sense of stability in the face of uncertainty. Humans have found a desire to understand the world. If we can understand what's going on around us, we can make better decisions for ourselves and our families. And I always talk about sometimes we have to watch ourselves criticizing ourselves when it could be something energetically that is happening. This is a survival tactic. As human beings throughout eons, we've always been in the quest to understand our existence and make meaning of our lives, says Freed. Astrology is the oldest system of trying to understand existence and personalities and our personal destinies. When we are facing an intellectual overload, believing in something like astrology can feel like we're getting the answers we crave during a difficult time. And I know science debunks it and says there's no scientific proof that the planetary energy affects us here on Earth, but there are way more personal studies about the effects that these lunations have on us. It's not in our minds. We're not stupid people. Astrology wouldn't be at the level that it is if the stuff didn't work. All right, let's talk about this full moon in Libra, lunar eclipse. So eclipse season is opening, and it's always like, ooh, eclipse. What I find fascinating is, and we had the time change. We sprung forward, those states that spring forward. We had that incident occur. So I was blaming kind of the dragging, the sluggishness I've been feeling on that. But as it turns out, we can start to feel the eclipse energy up to 4 weeks before its arrival. So this eclipse season is officially opening on Monday, 3/25. But that makes sense. So many people are reporting having unrest, unable to sleep, waking up very early, not getting deep sleep. And I don't know if you felt this, but I've had bleary eyes lately when I wake up, even if I've gotten like 7.5 hours, which is for me a lot of sleep. I'm waking up a little bleary eyed, so it now makes sense because I was talking to my friend Lisa and we're like, what is going on? It's coming in at 5 degrees. So this is the third full moon that has come in at 5 degrees. 5 is a number of change, but 5 is also associated with our 5 senses. So everything that I'm going to do for my new moon ritual and bring in as to welcome in the season of change will connect with my 5 senses, my hearing, my sight, my smell, all of that, okay? So Aries, so this day, let's talk about the day. The day reduces down to a 9. So full moons are already about 9s. 9s are ending, 9s are closing off a period. So already 9 represents the ending of something. So we are ending winter, goodbye, it's officially over. But the number, the day 3/25 reduces to a 1, which is perfect because we are in Aries season. Aries is the first astrological sign. So in this happy new astrological new year, we start with Aries, the number 1 sign. So Aries is going to bring the heat. It's going to light a fire under us, and it's going to make things a little tricky because we are in eclipse season, which brings up different emotions. So we've left the ethereal comfort waters of Pisces, which, by the way, I felt so bad in my Pisces video when the new moon of Pisces, I forgot to call out that Albert Einstein is Pisces. Oh my God, I've always loved his work. He's definitely one of my teachers in everything metaphysical because he believed in science, but he also believed in God. God was a huge part of his work. So Einstein is a Pisces born on 3/14/1879. So I ran some quick numbers on him. I looked into just 2 top line numerology aspects. So his entire birthday reduces to the number 33. 33 is considered a master number, but that reduces to a 6. And 6 is the number of love. You flip it around and it's a 9. So he had divine masculine and feminine energy. Einstein used both sides of his brain. And he would, talk to his fellow scientists and says, my God, just look in the skies and see the overwhelming beauty in the sky and what created that. And you know what? Science, why have an answer for something so breathtaking and so beautiful? His birthday, 3/14, reduces to an 8. And as I've been talking about, we are in an 8 year of the dragon. 8 is the number of infinity and constant motion. Hollywood Lady J, how are you? Good to see you here. Your brother recently had a birthday. I know because he and Ed, we met you that night. Welcome, welcome in. I'm talking about the full moon in Libra and this lunar eclipse. So Aries energy is a time to kickstart and officially begin the year because January and February were part of winter. So think of Aries energy as a kick in the butt. Like I said, Aries is a fire sign. So January and February are part of winter. So we are literally in the month of March, starting spring season on the 19th when we came in with that spring equinox, clearing out stagnant energy. That's what spring is all about. So the ruling planet of Aries is Mars. If you want something done, you want it done fast, efficiently, and quickly, ask an Aries woman. Same thing for the guys. Aries, they have so much energy. And if you know any Aries in your life, Aries never seem to really age. They always have this youthful, fiery energy that just is all throughout their whole lives. Okay, Aries and Libra. So we're in Aries season going into this full moon in Libra. So Aries and Libra are cardinal signs. So we have double cardinal energy. Cardinal signs, what makes them cardinal is that they kick off each season. So Aries kicks off spring, Cancer kicks off summer, Libra kicks off fall, and Capricorn, the last cardinal sign, kicks off winter. They're seen as the most influential signs in the zodiac. Because Aries energy initiates change and setting things in motions. Aries has this fearless energy. Like Aries will literally leap and then they look. They jump first, or natural, have this fearlessness that a lot of us. So they're natural born leaders. Most Aries are very vigorous and they're very proactive. They don't wait for life to bring them things. They bring things to life. So Libra, let's talk about Libra since this moon is about Libra. Libra is I balance. That's the signature of Libra, balance. So we hear a lot about having a balanced diet, right? What about a balanced mind? And that's what Libra energy is concerned with. It's like, righting the wrongs, weighing and assessing both sides of the coin. Diplomacy, soothing things over regarding disagreements. Libras make very great attorneys and mediators. And it's a great time to have heart-to-hearts so that you can find clarity. So Libra is always on the quest for truth. I have a Libra son, and he has a Libra stellium. I believe he has 5 major planets all in Libra. All right, let's move on. So this is the 3rd consecutive full moon at 5 degrees. 5 is the number of freedom, liberation, and setting ourselves free. So all air signs, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, they're concerned with freedom. But what's cool is they're concerned with freedom for everybody. They want it for themselves, but they are one of the signs. They want to see everyone free because they truly feel until everyone's free, nobody can be free. All right, moon omens. Welcome to eclipse season, that time of year when fate and destiny are on full display. A full moon in Libra, also the first lunar eclipse of the year. Eclipses can be felt up to 4 weeks prior. So eclipses are considered non-linear. They're considered cyclical. So when the cycle comes in, this cycle can last up to 6 months. So the effects of it will start on Monday, the official effects. But like I said, if you've been feeling it, you may have been feeling weird, strange, off, unexplainable restlessness, maybe not able to get a full good night's sleep, or waking up in the middle of the night, or sleeping so deep you can barely get up. These are all effects of eclipse energy. So Libra energy is going to impact our relationships, who we are in our relationships, what we want in our relationships, and the primary relationship that we have with ourselves should be at the forefront. So by the way, if you want to hear how this lunation affects your particular zodiac sign, go to my podcast, Astridologie with Astrid, ASTRIDLOGIE, and I do a download on how this will affect your astrological sign. And what I love, this is one of my favorite sources, Well Plus Good, because they always give a self-care practice. Okay, so let's talk about Libra. Let's unbundle Libra, since this is Libra season, or not season, this is Libra's full moon and Libra's time in the sky. Libra, it's time to put yourself first. The lunar eclipse in your sign moves through your first house of self, new beginnings, and personal ambitions. You're feeling less concerned with what others need, and you're ready to focus on yourself. This is a karmic time to reestablish balance in any connections where you've downplayed your needs or desires. If you're single, you could enter a new relationship or partnership. And if you're coupled, you might make plans for the future, or alternatively, decide to walk away from a connection you've outgrown. This is a sensitive and personal time for you, but as you embrace your feelings, you're creating a space for new beginnings to blossom. Personal goals you set for yourself under last fall's solar eclipse in your sign may begin to manifest. So the moon, the full moon and the new moon, they work in cycles. So the idea is we're sitting here at the Libra full moon. The idea is to, when we get to 6 months later to the Libra new moon, you want to look back on this time and see where you were at. So the same thing on the last solar eclipse in Libra last fall, where were you then compared to now? Okay. This is called a prenubral eclipse. So it's a phase where the moon passes through the outer edges of the Earth's shadow. So this energy isn't going to be that intense. It is preparing us though for the next one. The eclipse in April, all the astrologers are talking about is going to be major. So this is like dipping our toes in the water of eclipse season. So it's not going to be as strong. Eclipses are more than just astronomical events. They're gateways, they're openings, they're doorways to offer us a chance to step into the future we wish to create. So the second eclipse on 4/8 is going to be a total solar eclipse. And we're lucky in America we'll be able to see this. The east, the southeast, the southwest, Canada, north of Mexico will be able to get a glimpse of the solar eclipse. You can look for this one on Monday, this prenubral eclipse. It's going to be very hard to see, but on 3/25 on Monday when this comes in, if you are aware of it, you can kind of get a gaze at it if you'd like to see it. So again, lunar eclipses are like full moons on steroids. They represent a culmination or closure of some kind. Just think of it as a giant full moon with extra energy. So it literally lights up the sky and lights up the galactic energy. Full moons are about releasing and letting go and purging during an eclipse. So this eclipse is closer to one of our nodes, the north node or the south node. In this case, It's conjunct to the south node. A conjunction is an auspicious thing. So the moon is in Libra, the south node is in Libra, and the sun is in Aries. So we've got this air blowing the fire of Aries. So don't be afraid of eclipses, because eclipses shake things up. They actually help to illuminate our paths to places where we need to open the door and move through some different doors. And as we journey through this first eclipse season, we want to embrace this change with an open heart, ready to heal, ready to grow, and ready to create more deeper, authentic connections with ourselves. And this is going to create that with others. So South Node energy is like full moon energy, because the South Node is about releasing the past and clearing. Both energies, the full moon and the South Node, are about saying bye-bye, saying goodbye to something. So the North Node represents the future. So when you think of it, the North Node is the head, the South Node is the tail. So the North Node is going to focus us on what's ahead and what's our future, what's our destiny, where the South Node is saying, let go of something that no longer serves you. So again, as I said, we're in an 8-year. 2024 is an 8-year, and the number 8 is Saturn energy. Saturn is playing a big part in this lunation, but it's great because Saturn further helps us clear, because Saturn demolishes duty and destiny. It's about inner discipline for soul growth. Saturn is considered the taskmaster. It's considered the law of cause and effect in action. It is said that life is not a random process, and it's considered to be based on the results of previous actions. So Saturn is exalted in Libra. So that's why Saturn is on the table. And exalted in a sign means that it's the strongest position in that zodiac sign. So Saturn, the taskmaster, is exalted in Libra, the strongest position it can be in Libra's energy. But again, Saturn is concerned with reparations, reward, fairness, just like Libra, justice. So Saturn's energy is about karmic justice that says that if the soul can take responsibility for itself, it creates a positive future. Venus, let's talk about Venus. Venus is Libra's ruling planet, and Venus is sextile Jupiter. This is considered, sextile is a positive when the planets line up and support each other. Venus is also exalted in Pisces. Pisces, again, the ethereal with Uranus energy guiding it. So Jupiter is the original planet of Pisces before Neptune was discovered. So again, Venus is Jupiter's ruling planet. Venus is Libra's ruling planet, and Venus will be sextile Jupiter, but Jupiter was also the original sign of Pisces. So the stars are really pouring down and showering us with blessings, joy, beauty, and love because of that Libran energy with Jupiter. Jupiter, the sign of abundance. Libra liberates you when you listen, and we want to listen to ourselves. You hear the true Libra because Libra rules the 7th house, and it's about our partnerships. Libra's biggest weakness includes trying too hard to avoid conflict and please others. I think this is more the male Libras, because most Libra females are known. They are guilty of doing too much for others, but I don't think trying to please others. They're just very helpful. Their peacekeeping efforts can often lead to neglect. Libra is also highly indecisive. Their desire for balance make them weigh every side of an issue, and they may doubt themselves because of their fragile ego. All right, so the goddess associated with Libra is Aphrodite, the Greco-Roman goddess. The swan, I was like, what is the power animal for Libra? The swan symbolizes beauty, harmony, and grace. These are all characteristics of Venus, the ruling planet of Libra. Swans are also symbolic of love, togetherness, partnership, just like our Libras. Libra, I found this fascinating, is the only zodiac sign that is represented by an object. I never thought of it. So the scales represents Libra. They're the only one represented by an object, with the other 11 signs are either represented by an animal or a mythological character. Fascinating. In astrology, Libra rules the kidneys and lower back, which explains why they might carry additional stress in this region of the body. Libra during Aries season is masculine versus feminine. Aries is masculine energy, very restless, eager to go. And sometimes this masculine energy has a hard time trusting the feminine energy. So a lot of wounding and healing can occur when there's this duality between the masculine and feminine energy. But because Libra is such about love, compassion, support, it should balance it out. And what to do during this lunation. Again, listen to my podcast and you'll get self-care tips and information about your particular zodiac sign. So balancing personal self-interest and really reaffirming your personal boundaries with others, work, children, everybody. Libra wants balance. Balancing, holding space for your relationships and the community around you. This is a big one for Libra. Leading versus delegating, because most air signs are natural born leaders, but sometimes Libra likes to sit in the back seat. But it's time to lead versus delegating. It's time to act versus negotiating. It's time to do versus being, because that Aries energy wants us to take action. It's about resisting versus surrendering. So energy update. So we entered Aries season March 19th. On 3/20, Mars moved from Aquarius to Pisces. So again, during Pisces season, there was a lot of Pisces energy, but there's still a lot of Pisces energy on deck. Thank God, because Pisces is so spiritual and it helps us keep the focus on improving ourselves, our minds, and our hearts. On 3/24 today, Pisces is sextile Jupiter in Taurus. So I talked about this lunation, but I forgot to mention that it's in Taurus. So this is why Taurus is a sign of money and abundance. So with Pisces sextiling again, Jupiter in Taurus, it's good vibes. It's showering us with blessings. So 3/25, this full moon lunar eclipse comes in. And then on 3/29, we have Good Friday, the commemoration of the crucifixion of Jesus. And this occurs during Holy Week. And what's interesting that Good Friday is also called Holy Friday, but this I didn't know. And I worked as a vendor on the vendor side in retail for many, many years. Black Friday. Good Friday is also called Black Friday. Wow, blew my mind. On 3/29, there's a retrograde and a planet called Palo. It's an insignificant sign, but it's kind of preparing us for the retrograde season that's coming up in April. 3/31 is Easter Sunday. Need I say more? So April is going to be an amazing kind of month. It's always very spiritual, because we've got Passover and we've got lots of events happening. We've got Mercury retrograde coming back onto the table, etc., etc. Remember, your words are powerful. Your words are your lamp and they form radioactive energy. So where do you want to radiate that energy? Hey, Celia, welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh my God, her open mic night was amazing. Thank you for letting me be a judge. I'm just so grateful to everyone did such a beautiful job, but it's just like that poetry is alive. I've always loved the power of the word. Celia, you came in just as I said, your words are your lamp. Remember that, everybody. Remember that. In closing, I leave you with this last thought from Well Plus Good. Harmonious alignments aside, there will be tension in the sky. Energetic Mars and taskmaster Saturn, the two most notoriously challenging planets, are both in Pisces, moving towards each other. This can stir up feelings of disappointment, rejection, or frustration, but the key is not to force anything. Luckily, you can still utilize this planetary combo for tasks or conversations that require your dedicated focus and for making slow, steady, and sustained progress towards a goal. Overall, there's a bit of red light, green light energy going on with these conflicting planetary influences as the lunar eclipse arrives. So while you may be blossoming in one area of your life, you may be struggling in another. Trust that all good things take time, and the journey to get there is what matters most in the end. Wow, we unpacked a lot about this full moon in Libra lunation, but again, it's a time to bring out all the spiritual tools, your crystals, your candles to light the way, your sage and your Palo Santo, your sprays. I can't tell you enough about sprays because sprays represent water. Water cleanses and purifies on a whole different level. I have these listed in my bio. They'll be in my notes if you'd like to get some of these. I've been using these in my yoga class and they are transformative. Thank you so much, everybody who joined me today. Good to see you. Stay well. Thank you so much. It's a beautiful time. Air, breath work, incense. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate you for tuning in. Have a great rest of the weekend. And don't forget, Monday, 3/25, this beautiful full moon comes in. We'll wake up because it's coming in at 12 a.m. Pacific, 3 a.m. Eastern time. Thank you so much, everybody. Namaste.